So let me take you now to Parliament, because the House has finally approved the $750 million facility for government to finance capital and growth-related expenditures. This loan forms part of the $1 billion loan the minority had resisted for weeks. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, had told Parliament that the country could have gone bankrupt without it. Part of this arrangement, we understand, the $250 million component is still outstanding following concerns of the minority. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante has more in this report.
The minority in Parliament had resisted the approval of the facility, and for weeks, progress stalled on the deal. Government was in a desperate need of a $1 billion loan to shore the country's foreign reserve and also to support the 2022 budget. The major part of that deal, a $750 million loan to be sourced from the Afrexim Bank, has now been approved by Parliament.
As many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. All against, say no. Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
According to Chairman of the Finance Committee, Kweku Kwarteng, his colleagues needed to approve the loan because it was critical to enable government to deliver on its responsibilities.
The committee, Mr. Speaker, having carefully examined the agreement, is convinced that the facility forms part of government's international capital market program aimed at raising funds to finance critical infrastructure projects in the 2022 budget. Accordingly, we urge this House to approve this motion and to approve this facility in order that we may reap the benefit that the facility would bring.
Ranking member on the Finance Committee, Dr. Kisela Toforsen, explained what made the minority change their stance.
Mr. Speaker, as we speak, our debt is simply not sustainable, and it should be noted that this matter is of national importance and something that all of us will have to come together and deal with it. Mr. Speaker, as a result of the fact that our debt is not sustainable, investors have started panicking to the extent that some of them have started exiting our market. I do not have basis to reject this loan on the grounds that it is going to, in a way, support the reserves. Speaker, apart from that, I will have no basis to support this. But I agree that the $750 million is in the budget. And so it calls on all of us to support it. Mr. Speaker, because of the debt sustainability issues, the minister must take steps to reduce government expenditure. So, Speaker, that is the elephant in the room. Speaker, with these few words, I support the motion. Thank you.
The majority insists, though, that the deal is extremely important to keep the government running.
No one in this chamber will doubt the fact that COVID and the Ukraine-Russia war has affected the world economy. Nobody would be in doubt of that fact. And I'm happy that our colleagues have not disputed this fact. Somewhere. We have begun from somewhere. We'll get somewhere. So, Mr. Speaker, these must be considered, and I believe that government in good faith will utilize these funds for the purpose intended.
One of the central arguments against the loan by the minority has been their concerns about what exactly the funds will be used for. Despite government listing a number of projects, some NDC MPs are still not enthused.
Mr. Speaker, there are projects that have listed here, and that need to be reconciled properly. We are aware that they came here for money to build stadium. They are still allocating money for the same stadium. There must be reconciliation. We are aware that they got loans here to build Swami Interchange. They are still allocating money here for Swami Interchange. Mr. Speaker, we also know that Eastern Corridor Lots 5 and 6 is already on contract under a loan project. If this is the way you are going to, if you just want $750 million, and you want a blank check because your situation is hopeless, tell us to approve for you. Don't come and put things here you don't intend to do.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta had told Parliament that the country would have gone bankrupt if this $750 million component of the larger $1 billion deal was not approved by the House. This would have meant that the country would have gone the ways of countries like Sri Lanka, who do not have enough foreign reserve to purchase commodities on the international market. The chairman of the Finance Committee, Kweku Kwarteng, had told Joy News that without this amount of money, government would have struggled to pay salaries and meet its international debt obligations.